Children's Hospital, the only one in Afghanistan, and we have been able to provide them with medication and pharmaceutical supplies since 2006.
Every dollar that you give us goes right to the families, right to the kids.
$5 is usually what we spend on a Starbucks coffee in the morning, and that actually makes a huge difference to one child. That could be a meal for a day or even a few days.
We hand delivered this school supplies to 1,300 students.
As mentioned, we do have 3 different programs. Our first program, which started in 2006, includes the Children's Hospital, the only one in Afghanistan, and we have been able to provide them with medication and pharmaceutical supplies since 2006. The other 2 programs were developed in 2008. Since then, we've been able to support 2 schools by way of giving the students school supplies directly to the students. So we don't give it to the staff to distribute, we distribute it ourselves. These include pens, papers, and school supplies for the rest of their year. Our third program is financial assistance to at-risk families. So in 2008, when I went back to Afghanistan, we did a needs assessment of these families. Currently, we're sponsoring 10 families whose children are at risk for child labor and may not have the opportunity to go to school. So to prevent them working on the streets, we have been funding them by opening bank accounts at Kabul Bank for them, and they are able to take money on a monthly basis, $50 for their monthly expenses. In 2010, we were able to do a side project, which was to build a water pump for one of our schools. The school needed much needed clean and fresh water for their students, and that's what we did. It was very successful, and not only the school, but the whole community uses the fresh water. In the future, I guess, we hope to increase our 10 families to 20, and our 2 schools to 5 schools, and also be able to build water pumps for those schools as well. Also, Mariam will be letting us know of the needs of the Children's Hospital. They're currently in dire need of an X-ray machine, for which parents are required to go outside of the hospital and pay at a private clinic to get that done. So if we can raise $10,000, that's what an X-ray machine costs. So let's see if we can do it, and I hope we are able to do it this year, if not next year for sure. So I thank each and every one of you for coming, and thanking you for your continuous support. Thank you.
We can assure you that every dollar that you give us goes right to the families, right to the kids. You know, one of the guy, I don't know if you saw him, but he was wearing a yellow shirt and it was in the slideshow. We've been helping him for the past 5 years. With $50 a month that we give him, he goes to school, he pays for his extracurricular activities, essentially in which he takes classes for math and English. He's bought himself a bicycle, and every single month, from that specific money, he buys for his mom wheat, in Farsi for people who is art, and oil, and one big tin of oil. So he takes that money not necessarily just to support his family, but also to put it towards his education. He's actually changing his life. And if it wasn't for us, if it wasn't for you, he would not be able to do any of that stuff and actually try to make a change for his life. So please, 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 donate.
So you guys saw firsthand all the efforts we put in over the 6 years. I don't know about anybody else, but I definitely got teary-eyed and moved by all those videos and pictures. You firsthand see how many lives we've touched, and that there's no donation too big or too small. I know a lot of us think, what can $5 do? $5 is usually what we spend on a Starbucks coffee in the morning, and that actually makes a huge difference to one child. That could be a meal for a day or even a few days. And we never think about that when we have our coffee, or we buy a lottery ticket in the hopes that we're going to get rich, when there's actually children all over Afghanistan hoping that they're going to have a meal tonight.
I spent 8 months in Afghanistan, and throughout these months I explored, learned, witnessed, and experienced things that have changed me as a person in many ways. First and foremost, I feel blessed and more appreciative of the fact that I know what true peace and freedom looks like. I do not have to go to bed hungry. I have an education. I have parents who are there to support me, to protect me, unlike millions of children in Afghanistan who have simply put it, nothing. I feel very fortunate to have been given this wonderful opportunity to carry out the society's work in Afghanistan. So I'm going to start with the schools. We hand-delivered this school supplies to 1,300 students, and it was in the district of Shakardara, outskirts of Kabul in Afghanistan. As you all know, Beacon of Hope has two selected schools that it has been supporting since 2006. One of the first things that I did when I arrived in Afghanistan was to ensure that the supplies to the students are delivered immediately, as they had completed their final exams and were about to go on winter holidays. We delivered a total of 7,800 notebooks. 6 notebooks were given to each student, and they were all packaged along pencils, pens, sharpeners, and erasers. And there's a classroom and a tent outside. It wasn't very warm when I got there. It was the fall season, but they have to sit under the tent when it's really, really hot and dry during the summers. So it's very unfortunate to see students who are very dedicated and passionate about receiving an education, but having no classrooms to study at. And there's another picture of the students. This was the school is not just for the boys, but as you can see, we have more boys attending the school than girls, because unfortunately a lot of girls, it's a cultural matter, as well as their families not allowing them to attend school for various other reasons. This year we managed to give each teacher around 700 Afghanis, which is equivalent to about 15 Canadian dollars. And this year we provided 57 school staff, including teachers, custodians, and other support and administrative staff, with 700 Afghanis. So that was a total of $900 towards this program.